$30 overdue on the phone. Now she can't come. Don't know about you, but I'm not heading home. Can't handle that talk. Thought I'd get a weekend, maybe time and a half. Now we're getting laid on. Foreman says sorry and climbs in his cab. Can't handle that talk. Can't handle that talk. Somebody tell me what to do now. It's not hard to see I'm not making through now. I'm lost on the path of a broken down man. Rich again, rich off the poor again. Oh yeah.
JP Guhns, our artist spotlight of the week. Go out to our website, www.avradio.org. Check him out, read his bio, click on that photograph, and it will take you to his site. But you know what? Better yet, if you're tuned in right now, you're going to hear the man himself. Ladies and gentlemen, read his bio, click on that photograph, and it will take you to his site. But you know what? Better yet, if you're tuned in right now, you're going to hear the man himself. Ladies and gentlemen, a U.S. Marine currently serving, an artist, a singer-songwriter, and a great guy. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me from South Carolina is JP Guhns. Hey, welcome to the show, JP.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man. So I got to tell you, we've had a lot of response with you.
Yeah.
Have you noticed it on your end?
Yeah, I just started all this in April. Over this last week, I've had about 40 different likes, 40 different views on the Facebook page. It's kind of hard sometimes to try to get it all together while we're, working all day long and then, being a full-time dad and taking care of my wife and everything. So, but yeah, I've seen a lot of it, a lot of love via Twitter and everything as well.
So you really just launched your music career this last April?
Yes, Jim. Pretty much what happened was I kind of woke up one morning. It's kind of been slightly I don't want to say a rough year, but a different year in somebody's life. And I woke up. My daughter Zoe, she's 4, and she's just starting to realize a little bit more about life and everything, and dreams that she wants to be, and tells me all the time what types of jobs she wants to do. And I'm always well, I gotta always tell her that. She can do anything that she wants. Here I sat with something that ever since I can remember driving around in my mom's 87 Caravan, and before that, her Yugo, listening to Paul Simon and Bruce Springsteen, John Mellencamp, and music was something that I always wanted to do, run around our backyard, humming, singing songs, making stuff up, and I just kind of put it to the wayside. It was always kind of one of those where it's it's just a thought process, it'll never pay the bills, if you will. And then I kind of looked at my daughter, and I figured if I never tried, I could never truly tell her that she can do anything, Well,
let me ask you this. I'm sitting here. You brought up Bruce Springsteen, and I'm going to tell you, I'm never going to ask you a question that will embarrass you. However, if it's out there on social media, well, it's all fair game, okay? Just telling you.
Yeah.
So in your influences, you said Bruce Springsteen. You also said country music by bearded outlaws and cigarette-smoking women. I laughed when I read that.
Yeah. It's
you have a sense of humor, is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just where I kind of grew up. My mom used to take me. My grandma owned this place called Pumpkin Center. It was like a family bar. Oh, kind of. I don't want to say the sticks or anything, but it was just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And there's just a group of people that you could sit there and probably write a couple novels off of, if not all the biographies. I like try to take a bunch of them influences, and then when it comes to music, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint. As we were talking, kind of via messaging and everything, it's kind of hard to pinpoint anything that really my sound comes from. I listen to a lot of stuff. I like a lot of stuff, and not just the music, but like where the people are, their backstory, and lyrics as much as the actual sound itself.
And this is why, by the way, if you didn't know it, why I always do my interviews on Thursday, because I call it the Mix It Up Show, because I'm the same way. I actually love. I can listen to classical music. I can listen to rap. I can listen to country. I just thought music for some reason is always wrapped me up. But here's the key. When did you literally in your musical world, like you already mentioned your mom and all that, when did you one day say, not I want to do this for a living. That's not what I'm talking about. When did you think, I just like music so much, I want to play an instrument, or I want to sing? When did all that come to you?
Yeah, one of the biggest moments that I'll ever tell anybody were my brother Joe. He listened to a lot of rap, and not just what you hear on the radio. He kind of went in deep and listened to a bunch of different genres. This is kind of like the late '90s, early 2000 type period. And then my brother Anthony was Third Eye Blind, early Blink-182. He listened to, they're kind of like split different worlds there. And I went towards my brother Joe. He was my hero. I listened to all that. And then what happened was, unfortunately, one of Anthony's best friends, Matt Tuderberg, died in a car accident. And it was a senior in high school. It was a very sad event. And we were at his funeral as they were getting ready to lay him in the ground. And there was a guy named Chip Cruz that amongst and I'm not lying when I say this, Matt Tuderberg was loved by almost a county in Wisconsin. And I would say close to around 300 people were sitting out early spring day. And Chip Cruz had a guitar and he started playing the refrain for Love Is by Sublime. The love is what I got. And it just, all of a sudden, all these people just started singing it to the point that it didn't even matter the age. It's a very simple chorus, but it's so powerful. Everybody just started just jamming away, and you can kind of feel the sorrow just uplift into the sky. And that's where I remember I came back home. We used to live out this place called Milford Street, and my next door neighbor went across the street and was like, hey, I'm selling all my rap CDs. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'll try to go get a guitar. This is what I want to do. I just I felt that power, and not power in a sense that, you get to do whatever you want, but power in a sense that you can heal, you can teach, you can provide somebody something else just through, jamming some chords and putting down a you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do. And now, let me ask you this, especially from the music point of view. You are a full-time DI, and I get that. I mean, I understand military. I mean, when you say I do, you literally, you do whatever they tell you to do.
Yeah.
And I get that. But when do you, are you branching out now do you go to local venues? Do you say, hey, let me just go out and play for your coffee shops or something like that?
Oh yeah. See, one thing that we're starting, my team and I, Andrew Slater, Jordan Knoll, Jacob Day, Jack Larder, been playing with the Southern Guns, Libby and Kaylee. What we've been doing is, I'm calling this thing here in Beaufort County, I'm calling it, an original at an original. And we're showing up, no name brand places, just all locally owned. And we're, pretty much how we do it is when they close, right before they close, we come footage for them. And then we just jam right there.
Sweet.
And then we, throw it up on social media to try to get bring out some of the hidden gems that are here, as well as get a chance to play and experience the vibes. You can almost feel the vibes of these type of places. One of the first ones we did was here feel the vibes of these type of places. One of the first ones we did was here in a place called Habersham with Marley Redden. She's the executive chef of Maggie's Pub and Eatery. And we played in there, and it was almost like we probably could have sat inside that place playing music for, a day. It just felt that good for jamming. And not only did we do that to try to help them out as well as, get the music out there, but it's a chance for myself and the Southern Guhns to kind of feel our vibe out, make sure the project that we're currently working on kind of comes all together in the long run.
You speak of, first of all, thank you. I mean, you're just like any good NCO. You always give your team the credit, and as you should, believe me. I've been there, done that one. But I'm reading something that says here, in your particular case, the music is more than sounds. It's documentation. What's documentation? What do you mean by that?
I really mean that to the point, to the T. And to try to remain as humble as possible. You hear a lot of stuff on the radio, and a lot of stuff is copy and paste all right now. So it's like David kind of yelling at Goliath here. But a lot of stuff is
don't put yourself down, man. You're big time. You're big time.
And, there's not a lot of feel in it. And what I was amazed at when you guys played my song on Sunday and you picked Can't Handle That. Can't Handle That Talk. When I wrote that song, I literally had my baby Colby running around in the living room. Zoe was in her bedroom reading a book or something. And I picked up my guitar, and one of the things that Drew and I have been working on is just trying to kind of re-record over stuff. So I was like, to kind of get a basic lick down, if you will. And I just hit that opening line, $30 overdue on the phone. And instantly I thought about my brother Joe. He was a contractor, working job to job. I thought about my dad. Watched my dad kind of not get pushed out of the brick industry, but definitely kind of get kind of put to the side for a younger, more college educated generation. I watch my mom every day. She's been working for 40 years at the same place, just trying to grind it out. And whole family back home. I've been very blessed by the United States military. I've had to go overseas, 4 times, but overall I've been very blessed by them. And when I wrote that song, I was like, it wasn't me. I don't have a phone bill that's overdue. I don't have the risk of not getting enough hours at work. I don't have the risk of having to shut down a local business. But I know those people. I know that struggle. And just the minute that I hit that, it just all flew together. So when you say like documentation of life, like I intend, like every song of life, like I intend, like every song that I write, I want it to be more than just a song. And it's a struggle sometimes to try to keep it relevant in the sense of sound. But then again, I just kind of look at it and so I just got to do my style. My style is that storytelling, and just speaking the truth, even if it's not entirely my truth or my story, but the people around me. If I get an opportunity to tell their story, that makes me feel even better if I'm telling mine.
I've always lived my life by saying, if I can look at myself in the mirror and say, it's okay, I didn't screw it best I can, then I live my life. I mean, that's literally how I've lived my life. If I can look myself in the mirror and say, it's all good, then I'm good. But let me put it this way to you, especially when it comes to you are active duty U.S. Marine. You are sadly, in my case, to say that, my opinion, I should say, you are a veteran of 2 foreign wars. How did it come into play when you were deployed, when you were out there seeing the crap, as you will?
One, it was an uplifter. I get my boys around me, and we just jam. It was always different for them, either as a corporal in Iraq or a sergeant in Afghanistan, for them to kind of be like, oh wow, I didn't even know you could do that. And like, it was something for them to hear. That was my main priority. was to be able to play around them. There's moments out there where you don't lose touch of humanity, but you kind of forget about what it is to just live day to day. So if that moment of day to day was a guy just playing on a six string, then that was just a moment that I needed to take. Sometimes good times, I got a song on the project that we're working on called Smile, where I was pretty much writing to my wife. We had just got married, and I went down to Helmand Province, Afghanistan, and the whole song was pretty much as if I could close my eyes and just see all those moments with her in her beauty, and just wrote that out right on the spot. And then unfortunately, that sometimes you write songs that don't conquer the joyous moments of life, but conquer the bad moments too.
Yeah, prophetic, as we would say, right? But I got to share a story with you. Real quick. I think I know. I was a PFC or an E4. I can't remember. One of the cases, we were bivouacking, and we were in this is just showing my age, I guess, a little bit, in a deuce and a half. And I tell this story, if anybody's listened to me throughout the years. Somebody picked up a guitar. We're in the back of this. I mean, hell, I don't even remember where we were. And they started playing a song called America, and they played Tin Man. The group was America, and the song was Tin Man. And we all started jamming. And to this day, this is like almost 35 years ago, I connect to that moment when I was with, as you would call now, your battle buddies. But I was with a camaraderie that not all of us have. So how is music within your own realm of the Marines? How's that on them? Or are they kind of like, oh, come on, man, you're a DI, stick with this. How's that worked out?
Well, I've been getting a lot of pretty good feedback from it. Again, a lot of it's a surprise, especially since I said April is when I found it was like, we'll go on Facebook, I'll start YouTube, I'll start recording, and Drew was helping me out with that. A lot of them were like, man, I didn't even know you could do that stuff. But there's guys that do know. I got a lot of good buddies on my last deployment to Afghanistan that heard my jams, and they really loved them, and they were like, man, you gotta try to write about this, and they go back to that documentation of life. They're kind of like, hey, man, you should think about this story and this story. So it kind of, overall, I think a lot of them really enjoy it. I get told, even though I personally don't really like it, but I get told that I inspire people to really like it. But I get told that I inspire people to kind of remember about what they want to do on this world. I love being in the Marine Corps. I love putting on the uniform. I love what it means for. But at the same day, one day it's over. And then you're just part of life again. Just you and the good Lord. So, I think they kind of look at that as like trying to find themselves again, and like, what do they really enjoy out of life, and how can they put that back into it?
I am telling you, I am so inspired by you, and I know our listeners are as well, because I can see it going. Social media is blowing up right now. But here's what I want to ask. First and foremost, never, ever, ever, and this is a statement, not a question, you wore that uniform. My God. Yeah, I've gone through health issues where I've gained 100-something pounds, and I've lost it, and I've done all these things. But you know what? I still have my gig line going. I still look out and see for somebody. I see they're a veteran. I just want you to know, regardless of, we're all generational. If we're fortunate enough, and I always say fortunate enough and privileged enough to wear the uniform of our nation, that's something that never leaves you. It will never leave you. So if you do 40 years, one day, as you say, you have to step out of that uniform. But your music can tell stories. Your music can take people to places that they maybe have no idea. I'm just telling you, I think you're knocking it out of the park, JP.
Thanks, appreciate it.
And
definitely appreciate it.
And what I also want to know is, now you just started this in April. If somebody wants to buy you music, can they buy your music?
Not yet. I just kind of came to agreement and partnership with a gentleman named Glenn Kiefer down at in his Florida studios. And we're kind of doing like a postal service type setup here. So I record a track up here, set it down there. Just kind of producing, engineering, mixing, helping composing. So I mean, and then again, this job that I do currently as a drone starter, it's not a 9 to 5.
Oh, I understand.
It's a 3 a.m. to 2 around 9 o'clock at night. So it's one of those where the commitment to the core and the island has to come first. What we're planning as a team is to kind of have the project all the way wrapped up sometime next April, May time frame. And then, from wherever I go to get stationed, we're going to hit out from there. So pretty much from now, like I said, talking to y'all, my family and I are going to take a trip up to Wisconsin, and then on the way back, we're going to stop in by you.
Absolutely. And here's what I want you to always know. If you ever look at Motown, if you ever go out and look at, that place is a radio, that's the place you're going to find American Veterans Radio. Okay? We're just some very humble people, volunteers, who bust our ass to put out great music and great entertainers like yourself. So hope you're not disappointed.
Absolutely super excited about it. Super excited.
So anyway, hey, ladies and gentlemen, go out to our website, www.avradio.org. Check out our Artist Spotlight of the Week, JP Guhns. Please let him know that you heard about him right here on AV Radio. And also, when he finally decides